Hey crafters, welcome to another episode of May Made It. Today I have a baby shower to go to, and it happens to be for my nephew, so I know what his nursery is going to be decorated like because I'm going to be doing a lot of that. And hopefully I'm going to take you on a kind of a journey with me as I do that nursery, so we're going to try that with some video. But for today I wanted to make a shower card for him, or a baby shower card for him, and I know we're going to be doing his room in superheroes because that is his daddy's favorite, and it's all my boys are really into superheroes, so we feel like that he will be as well. So I found on this cartridge, this is the Planton School Book cartridge, and most of your Cricuts, if you have one, came with this cartridge. I know the one I just purchased recently came with it, so I don't use it a lot, and so I got it out, I thought I'm going to try something different, and I found this city scene that's right here in the corner, and it looks like a little city. You can see that. And then over here you get it with the windows cut out or just the shadow. So what I did was I cut this one with the windows cut out and the shadow. I cut this one in black and I cut this one in yellow so that when I put it behind it, it'll look like the windows are lit with light inside. This one I cut at 2.5 inches, and the shadow, I just used the shadow feature and cut it at that too. Now, I did not use the whole piece. It cuts longer than I needed it, and I'll show you what I did to trim that off. So let's jump into it. This is going to be a cute card. Oh, I also want to show you this. I'm also using his, I'm also using a, where is it? A caption bubble. This one right here. I'm using this as well. I'm going to say something like Mommy Superhero or something like that. So let's get started. Now the card base I'm using today is actually a pre-cut card base, and it is 6, let me measure. 6.5. It's a 5 by 6.5, so it's a bigger card than you would usually use for, it's not an A2 size card, so you're using something bigger. Now what I did was, for superhero colors, I'm going to use blue, red, yellow, black, and white. And this blue is a sparkly paper, and it is, I think it's die cuts with a view. I'm not 100% sure, but it's something I had in my stash, so that's going to go here. Now, what I did on this one is I cut it only 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around. Where I normally would cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller, I wanted a really tiny white line around the edge of that card. So I'm going to adhere this down. So there we go. We have our base. Now then, I have to show you this. I love this. This is the city scene, and these are the two pieces. One is in black, this one, and then one is in yellow. And what we're going to do, I'm going to do it on my mat. It may be harder to see, but I'm going to adhere these two together like this. And notice whenever I put them together, you can see the yellow through the lights. I think once that's glued down, through the windows, you'll see it even better. But I'm going to adhere these down, and I'm going to use bonding memories from Close to My Heart because I want something wet that I can really get into all these little bitty nooks and crannies on. And I'm actually going to put the glue, no, I was going to do that. I want to put it on here so I don't put it over any holes. Now I'm just going to adhere it to this piece. And I want to make sure I line it up as good as I can because those edges are yellow as well. Isn't that the cutest little city scene? I just love it. I think it's so cute. So it's all adhered together. Now one thing I'm going to do, because I don't like this edge right here, I'm going to get my ink and just run it down the edge with a sponge. I'm going to do the edges too. Just a little bit, just to knock it back some. Okay, so let's bring our card back over. And I'm going to adhere this here. Now, I told you that I didn't use the whole piece that I cut. What I did was I cut this out, and then I used this backer piece that I cut for our mat, and I put this corner down on the mat, and then the piece that hung over to the side, I used my craft knife and trimmed that off so it'd be just right. And now I'm actually going to adhere this down to this glitter paper. I don't want it to be dimensional. It's got some pretty good dimension on its own. So to do this, because of this glitter paper, I'm going to use some liquid glass, which is light glossy accents. I'm going to use this because I think it will adhere better, and you just need to put a pretty thin coat because this stuff sticks really well. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to come, I think it's going to help if I line it up in one corner first. I'm going to line it up in this corner, which is where I started when I cut it, that's where I lined it up to. And just make sure that bottom matches, and then smash it down. I think this is so cute. This, if you're doing like a superhero birthday, you could do this as your invitations. And you know, the Cricut's going to do most of the work for you because it's doing all that cutting. But look how that kind of looks like a nighttime sky, and it's kind of popping. Very pretty. Now for some fun. Now, you know, in every superhero movie where there is a city scene like this, and you know what I'm talking about, there's usually a call for help somewhere in the sky. Well, my little nephew's name starts with a C, and we're going to call for help by calling him with this little C. This I am going to pop up on dimensionals because I want to get the shadow effect. You can see how it's kind of shadowy when the light hits it, so I want to get that effect. But I'm also going to, using my white jelly roll pen, I'm going to run lines from the top of this building across as if it were calling to him like the light does. So let's see how this works. The first thing I want to do is put this C down. And I'm just going to put it where I want it like this. And I want to make a couple of marks around the C. I want my line to be in, I want my light line to stop at the C. So I'm going to put 3 marks because I'm going to do 3 lines. I'm going to put 3 little dots out here at the edge, and I want it to be here. They don't have to be very, you know, precise. Very pronounced, because you can see them with the white gel pen. So 3 little dots. So what I'm going to do is run my light from the same point to those 3 dots, and I know they'll line up. So from those 3 dots that I drew that you probably cannot see, I'm going to take a little ruler, and I'm going to pick, I want to use this corner of this building right here as if the light was coming right off the top. So I'm going to put one edge of the ruler at that corner and one edge on the first dot that I drew. And using the white pen, you may have to go over this twice, so I'm going to draw the line. To that C. And actually I'm doing it several times. This glitter paper has kind of a slickiness to it, but you can see the line. It's so cute, and it kind of, I like how it's kind of not solid because it kind of looks like a like light. So like light. I bet in my southern accent that sounded good. Okay, now I'm gonna do the bottom one. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this one so that way I can have that one out of the way. Okay, and now I'm going to go back because now I can kind of use my gel pen at a different angle. I'm just going to kind of touch up anywhere it wasn't dark enough. Okay, so there's where it's going to go. Oh, it's so cute already. Okay. For the C, it is kind of small, so I'm going to take some dimensional adhesive, and these are little tiny squares that I have. I'm actually going to cut them down just by running my scissors up the middle of them like so, and that gives me some smaller pieces. And then using my tweezers, I'm going to flip this guy over, pick up one of my adhesive squares, and I'm going to use several of them because it's going to be fragile because that C is pretty thin. Now I'm just going to take these backings off. And I'm using my pick me up tool, which I couldn't say this morning. And pick that up and flip it over so I'm not touching the adhesive. And then we want to try to line that back up where we had the dots touching the edge of the C and keeping our C straight as well. That is so cute, guys. At least I think so. See how it's calling him? I love it. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do is our little caption bubble, which feels like cartoons to me. I cut 2 of these. This one, this one's cut at 1.5, and this one's cut in shadow at 1.5, so I could have this little shadow feature. Now, actually, that's not the way I want it. I want my little caption bubble to go this way, as if the people in that building were calling him. And I'm probably going to place it on an angle, and I'll probably put this on dimension 2, because I think that'll be cute. I don't know about the angle. Let me go ahead and adhere this down. I'm going to use some glossy accents again. No, liquid glass or glossy accents. It doesn't matter which one you're using. I just picked this one up. And my goal on this card was to have just tiny bits of white because of the feel of like a comic book kind of has those outlines and things. I just wanted the tiny trims of white on this card to keep it also looking like the night sky. So then this is going to go here, and I can't decide if I'm going to angle it or make it straight, but let's do this part first. Okay, using my pencil, I think what I want this to say is calling mommy's superhero. So I'm going to use my pencil, and I think I'm going to write it more in a script than a cursive. So I'm going to just write it in pencil so I can see it. So I have that penciled in, and now what I want to do is take my white gel pen and go and actually put it in permanently. Okay, so that says calling mommy superhero, and I just kind of went around the edge right here and took my gel pen and barely touched it and just kind of made like a cartoony kind of line as if that was an actual, you know, drawn caption box to make it kind of have dimension. And then I'm just going to pop it up on the corner of this card right here. Using some dimensionals again. And I did decide to do a tiny angle because I think in the cartoons it would be more angled. But now let's close this down. And I never even closed it the first time because I wanted it to lay really flat. So now that I've closed it, I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of crease it so that it'll be really flat. And I don't have any ink or anything on there that's going to mess it up, so should be just fine. So there's the card for today. It was just fun, something different. I thought you guys might enjoy it. And it's a good way to use your Plantain School Book if you have that. This cartridge has a lot on it, so check it out. Plantain School Book from Cricut. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good Saturday, guys. Bye-bye.